Peace, HHDG. We're on another episode of HHDG Media Podcast. Shout out to everyone tuning in right now through our YouTube channel, as well as our Facebook group. And as always, you can check out our previous interviews on our YouTube channel and also through Spotify, Amazon Music, Anchor, so much more. Big shout out to our team, our family, our company, HHDG Media Inc., which consists of Rock Vader KB, T. Smith, The Mayor, Skelly Top, and myself, Wiki. You can also check out our website, as you can see on the bottom banner, hhdgmedia.com, for the music, written interviews, our merch, and upcoming events. For tonight, I welcome for the first time a talented MC with his Jamaican roots, continuously knocking these tracks out and doing some of the ill storytelling, not just with the bars, but complete structure of the songs, content, giving you the thought of the imagery that he's portraying. And this came by way of battle rhyming. We definitely going to talk about that. And shown, that the love of the music, and that love of the music started from members of Wu-Tang Clan, my borough, Staten Island. Definitely gonna find out, what track that was and how he went in, remembering those lyrics from a particular track we're gonna talk about. He's got a dope new track out, inspired by martial arts, produced by the very talented veteran Knots. Knots has been always killing it. Going his IG, that proves it right there. I can't imagine how much tracks he has out there, just waiting for somebody to release with talent. That is like our guest for tonight. And that talent is NapsNdreds, he's worked with plenty of other talented producers. We definitely going to talk about that, but also his friendship and continuously dope collaborations with the Bad Seed. Man, those two together drop some dope all the time. Biggs and Wayne projects, it'll work right there. And each year, in the recent years, he's dropped a album. That right there is something that needs to be paid attention to, because these are not just oh yeah, he got a new album, right? No, you need to go and listen to those albums. Definitely go and check those out. And we're going to talk about not all of them, but the majority of them. Trouble in a Pair of Dice, Blood Clot 1 and 2, Return to Biggs and Wayne. What else? I'm getting a little brain fog right now, but we definitely gonna get into it. Sorry about that. And get into his inspiration and what he thinks that other inspiring MCs should go about doing. Can't just jump out there and expect everyone to know who you are. Record yourself, listen to yourself, and I'm sure he's gonna go a little further into that. So without further ado, repping South Florida and Jamaica, NapsNdreds.
Up top, man. Thank you, man. I really appreciate
Peace.
Introduction.
No doubt.
Introduction, man. Thank you, man. Thanks for having me as well. Everybody that's watching, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Support. Checking out this thing. Thank you.
Definitely. And I don't want to jump directly into Bad Seed and Knots work just yet, but let's start with the track with RZA and GZA. off the Jizza album. Tell us about that moment.
You cut a whole lot out of that story, man. So, all right, boom, I'll cut to the chase too with that. So, for me, I mean, look, I tell people, man, like, rap never was something that I wanted to do. Um, I realized after leaving Jamaica that I was really into music. Obviously, I was just listening as a child, listening to 80s music and grown people music and down south music and culture music and reggae music, stuff like that, man. And so I knew all of these things coming to America. And honestly, when I was in middle school, I didn't really know too much about rap. I mean, I knew Tupac, I knew Biggie and stuff like that, but I didn't really. I mean, I knew Wu-Tang as well, right? You mentioned Wu-Tang, so there was I was liking it more like up north type of music, right? So hip hop in general. So I was in middle school, man, and a lot of my friends they were walking around to seventh grade, walking around with the instruments, saxophone, trumpets, stuff like that. And one of my friends, I asked him, I said, because I wanted to be one of those guys walking around with that, it looked like myself. So I was like, yo, I want to be in the band too, man. And he was like, yeah, so we're going to the band class. I spoke to the guy, Mr. Demonstranko. He was like, yeah, speak to your mom and see what instrument you want to play. I'm like, I want to play trumpet. Went back to my mom. He told me to go to this store called All County where they would rent instruments. And it was like $1,000 or something like that. Split up the payments at the time. And my mom was like, hell yeah, I don't have the money for that. So I went back. The band already had started. They already started playing music in the books and everything. And the beginners already knew how to play the instrument on the basic level. Went back there. They told me, well, the only thing we can do right now is if you still want to be in the band class, we'll get you these fellas back there that's drumsticks and drumsticks in the store for like $10. I'm like, all right, cool. I sat back there for about 2 weeks to see what everybody was doing, what everybody was playing, and then ended up picking up, I play sheet music, lead sheet music, percussion, right? And snare drum, bass drum, xylophone, symphony, any little professional instrument I was playing with some fun. But that's just one part because most of the dudes that was back then that was playing drums, they were, I don't want to say hoodlums or hooligans or anything like that, but they were just, most of them were just hanging out. Some of them were just chilling, they weren't playing the drums, they weren't doing nothing. So I was there, I was playing, I was doing my thing, I was learning everything, and I started rapping. I started seeing dudes in the cycle, and I don't even know if it was really a cycle, I couldn't tell if they was really battling or if they was just reciting other people's rhymes. But I went back and I kind of memorized verse from Jesus album. The song is called, the song is the album. The song is called For Change. And it wasn't a verse by Jesus, it was a verse by Wisdom. I liked that verse so much that I should spit it back when I did acting in class. Shit like that. And so I spit it, and everybody was like, oh, you didn't tell us your rhyme, man. And I was like, weeks later, cut the story short, somebody hit me back again and was like, yo, just spit that rhyme, just spit that for this again. I spit it again, and it was like, yo, you got the voice from Fort Jacob, man, or the Jizzle record? And I was like, yo, homie, I didn't say it was my voice. I was just rapping the verse. So at that point in time, I realized everybody was getting respect for rapping, right? But it was also starting to I was also starting to feel, I was like, come on, respect. So that's how it all started for me. Like, I was just, and it wasn't just like whatever song was popping back then, it was all rap. Even the Golden Gloves, the speakers, like, who can spit first of the month, please. Every rapper's verse, you know what I mean? From front to back.
Yeah.
He was all doing that in the back of the bus, so he wasn't
Okay.
Trying to get, try to write down myself.
Mm-hmm. Man.
See, I said, man, because like I said, man, they called me out on it, bro. I wasn't a rapper, bro. Like, I didn't want to be a rapper. I was just like, I just realized that everybody thought that shit was so dope that I spit.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they did call me out on it, it was just like, wow, I got to, I got to start doing something. So I formed a group called Mad Juvenile. Me, all of us started with me. So I was mad for Mr. Mad Magic, Mr. Peace, and Mr. Mad. We was all Mad Juveniles. And so Mr. Mad is right now, he's on the beat back with Mr. Magic Mad Magic or Innocent Legends. We don't rap no more, but now that's my name. So I'm trying to that name.
Okay.
We for kind of we for
I'm getting a little feedback, so your voice is sounding kind of low. I thought it was me for a second, so I muted myself.
got my headphones right here. I don't know if that's
Oh, okay.
that's called or something. It's called using internal headphones. You better now?
Yeah, that's much better. Yep.
Perfect, man. I done said a whole lot, man.
Now I can still hear you. It's just I was hearing a lot of background noise at the same time.
Yeah, it was the computer microphone, man. So I switched it to the microphone.
Okay. All right. Oh. Now you've lived in Florida for the majority of your life.
Yeah.
So where's that been between um
From I
up?
was 11 until now. Until now, I'm like, I ain't gonna lie about my age. I'm 41, so it's been. I definitely been up here more than I've been down there at
Okay.
this point in my life. Yeah. Yeah.
Don't feel bad. I'm 44.
I'm trying to keep fit though, dog. I'm trying to
Yeah.
keep fit. You know what I mean? I don't feel like I'm 40 though, man. You
There
know
you
what I
go.
mean?
That's all it's about. Yep.
Yeah,
Mm,
bro, still sharper than the floor, man.
mm. Dope. Now you lived in also Jacksonville. Is that correct?
Tallahassee, not Jacksonville.
Tallahassee. All right. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Now,
No, it's
now
cool.
how was the scene up there?
Oh, that's where kind of I really started to get active, man. I mean, when I was younger, man, I was kind of just honing my craft, and I started to really take it seriously when I got to college, man. Started doing a lot of shows and a lot of traveling to nearby states, and that's Tallahassee is a real, compared to the rest of Florida, very country. So it's
Mm,
like southern, it's like South Georgia, if you want to call it that, because it's
okay.
only like 30 minutes away from like Valdosta, Georgia. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So the reason why I ended up in Tallahassee again was one, college, right? But I wanted to do something in the marching band. I wanted to be in the marching band, the marching
Okay.
100, right? So
Because
I
you're a
wanted to be
drummer.
in the marching 100 and play drums. That's
Mm-hmm.
since I've been in marching bands in high school and everything like that, and all the high school bands came around, and most of their band directors was from FAMU, and it was just like, yo, man, I got to go to Florida A&M, man, and that's the only reason why I went to Florida A&M. And then after a while, I had to figure out what I wanted to do. I
Ah.
ended up doing computer science, and but anyways, long story short, man, I got up there to be in the band, and I was in the band for like 2 years, and after that, finished up my degree in computer science, man. But all that time I was up there, man, I met a lot of cool people, man, and that's when I got signed as well in early 2000, like I think in
First chest.
2001 or two. Yeah, Fresh Chest Records, right. So yeah, me and Cunning Linguist was doing shows together when they came in town, and man, I don't know, you taking me real back, but Tallahassee was real cool, man. I was up there since from
2000 to 2008. So 8 years, man. I told my mom I was gonna be back home in 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Graduating, but I ended up like staying up there a little bit longer and working and just kind of liking being up there for a little bit, man. But eventually, I ended up coming back down south.
Okay, all right. Well, I got some history for Florida as well because grew up in New York City, and I went to college down at the University of Miami.
Oh well, yay, my boy, my boy.
And you said you did computer science. I did computer engineering.
I know. I saw that. Wordsworth went to UM too.
Yeah. Yep.
Straight up. So yeah, UM got some people out there, man. Like people will be surprised. You all the way up north coming down here. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm a UM fan as far as football goes. So college football, that's my team, man.
Yep.
Yeah. They're not the same. They not the you. I don't know what year you was there. I don't know if they was winning championships at that time, but I'm pretty sure like I'm thinking that you probably been there like early 2000 or something like that.
Nope, early 96 to 2000. So
you were still okay.
I was there when Santana Moss, Edgerrin James was there. Yeah.
Ooh, nasty. So y'all saw a championship then.
Yeah.
Man, listen, that was a beast of a team, man.
Yep.
Santana Moss. Yeah, that's crazy. Sean Taylor wasn't there at the time, right?
Sean Taylor. No. Not yet.
He came in after that, man. He was, yeah. Rest in peace, man.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. But that's dope, man. I didn't know that.
Was there too,
yeah. That's dope. He trying to find his way right now in coaching, man. That's crazy.
Yeah. That's a crazy situation.
He went up to Bethune and Daytona, and they had his office looking like a junkyard, man. But he had to go.
Yeah, that ain't right.
Nah, not for Ed Reed, man. I mean, any new coach coming in, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And my whole thing is just kid, like it looks worse because it's a historical black college, right? So it's just like, damn, y'all niggas can't get shit right, dog. You know what I'm saying? When I was in college, bro, like I know people always say this shit like, damn, black folk, man, this and that, but sometimes, bro, like I be thinking the same shit too, man. I'm like, man, dog, like what the fuck going on, man? Like if I was at FSU, I'm sure this shit wasn't going down. Why is my financial aid thing? Why is the computers down right now? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
that's another story, dog.
Man, so I don't want to stay too much in the past, but I mean, we brought up, first signing with Fresh Chest, and Deacon the Villain from Cunnilingus was a big part of that. So, and I've been a fan of Cunnilingus for a long time, man. So y'all actually met in college?
Yeah, most definitely. We did a show. So before we even met, like in person, man, like we were a part of this era, man, when the internet was first being introduced to the world, right? And so when you do that with human beings, they find ways to be creative with ingenuity and different things like that. So people started, obviously Napster came out, and there was people were pirating music. So I was a part of this whole new thing, man. Like, I was like 14 when I first got like my first computer, man. Like these kids now, they working on computers in kindergarten. You know what I'm saying? And so I was a part of that era of the internet, right? And so there was this website called rapmusic.com where, the main point of this website was to battle other artists online. So there would be prizes, like cash prizes and different things like that. I mean, they were even giving away MPCs, different things. So there was some incentive to really do this. And not only was the incentive there, but we were young, so we were hungry to figure out. We weren't paying for studio time to record our shit. So there were different forums that said, yo, you should go and get this AKG mic and get this preamp and get this sound card. And so I did all of that, bro. And I figued it out, and we had Cool Edit at the time. And so I can't take that era for granted because one, it taught me how to be self sufficient and
Mm-hmm.
to learn the equipment, learn how to make my own music, not writing it, but actually recording it and to get a good quality. I mean, this was a forum that people were, and I was one of the dudes that had like that quality was A1 for me. So I was always like, anytime, even if the shit was garbage at the time, uh, people would always say, "Yo, Naps shit sound like he recorded it, Sean King or some shit." Like, you know what I mean? Like, so you know, it's I learned a lot of recording techniques back then and recording myself, which helped me out to this day right now because I still record myself. I go in studios, but I love recording myself because there's a freedom behind that, and there's just a comfortability about you just being intimate with your music, man, and just okay, you don't like something, you can go back in there and do it over again. But to bring it back to what you was talking about, Deacon and Villain was a member of that. He was actually the one who told me to come over there. So it was over there. Tone Deaf was over there. Nestle, battle rapper as well, but more than a battle rapper because he's fire, man, on the records as well. There's some what you want to call it, not rumors, man, but I mean like stuff like they said J. Cole was on there at one point, but under a different name. Hobson was definitely on there under his name. So there was a lot of people that came up in that era, bro, that took advantage of what was there at the time, right? So Deacon, I met him, and just rapping with him all the time and all of that. I sent him Blackboard Jungle at the time, which was like the first recordings or the first few songs I had from Blackboard Jungle, and he
Mm-hmm.
sent it off to Fresh Chef, which at the time Gene Gardenzi and Jay Laporta was the owners of the label, and they saw me, and so I was on the label thinking that everything was sweet. I'm in Tallahassee. I'm thinking they're gonna book me for shows and they're gonna send me money and they're gonna have this whole thing laid out like I thought it was gonna be. No sir, it wasn't like that, man. I mean, and I learned it kind of the hard way because it took me a minute to realize because I had some kind of animosity towards them, like thinking like, yo, y'all ain't really putting anything into my shit. But then I realized you get what you first you got to put in for yourself, right? And then
Right.
then the labels will facilitate the extra. You know what I'm saying? So I learned that. And Cunning Linguist was one of the biggest groups on there. Superstition was on there as well, but a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the focus was on Cunning Linguist because they was willing to tour and go all around the place. But I was still in college, man, and I was trying to make my mom proud and just get this and knock my shit out because I'm old. She got, you know what I'm saying? And we left Jamaica and it was just me and her. So it's like, yo, I sent you up there to college, not to be in the band. I sent you up there to finish your degree. And all this money and shit that is costing, you better come back home with something. So I was
Right.
focused on that, man. But, so I just honed in on trying to get my degree, man, and make my mama proud, man, and also still fuck with the music shit, man, at the end of the day. Meeting and networking with a lot of people, man, and just doing shows locally, you know what I mean, and just
Yeah.
getting in places where I want to be at, you know. So that's how I met Deacon, man. First it was therapmusic.com, and then we got signed, and then the first time I met him in person, that was when it was just no, it was Mr. SOS, and it was Deacon. They all came to the apartment. We kicked it for a little bit, man, and them dudes left out in like a minivan, man, the next day to like Georgia to do another show. So I was like, damn, man, I'm about to go lay down in my bed, and these dudes, they left at like 3 o'clock in the morning. They about to go do another show the next day. So I'm like, that's what's up, man. Tour life, man.
Yep. Great
Mm-hmm.
inspiration right there.
Crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, 1 second, bro.
Okay. While he takes a minute, definitely want to talk about his influences. We already talked about Wu-Tang, so definitely two of those influences.
Yeah, man, my bad. I had to let my dog out real quick, man.
I was gonna
Yeah.
we were gonna move on to your influences, and you already mentioned Wu-Tang, so I already know about Ghostface and Raekwon, but being that it is his birthday today,
Mm.
talk about Doom.
I'm glad you mentioned that. So I want to say, preface it with this, man. I mean, a lot of my influences now were the people who were already influencing me back then. I can't say I'm like listening to anybody right now that's influencing me. I'm influencing myself now with the life I'm living. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But what I can say is, we talked about Wu Tang. We talked about a lot of up north artists. And from a hip hop standpoint, those were my influential um, go tos, right? But there was so much more. There's so much more to this. Like I said, I'm a musician first, so there's so
Mm-hmm.
much more than just listening to rappers, man. Like, you know what I mean? It's listening to guys like Dennis Brown and Alton Ellis, um, Yellow Man, Sugar Miner, some of the old school Jamaican dancehall DJs and selectors, man, that paved the way for hip hop, man. And honestly, I'm glad that I was young enough to experience a lot of these people, Ninja Man, Vibes Cartel, other than Lockup. A lot of these individuals, man, I was able to experience them while they were in their primes, man, and was able to take a lot of different things from them: stage presence, their personalities, their style. You know what I mean? Sometimes when some of them Jamaican man them talk and you ask them a question, it's a whole rhyme. It's a whole rhyme. You know what I mean? Like they'll answer you nonchalantly, but it'll be in a rhyme. You know what I'm saying? You run up on them at the airport and they just talking about, yeah, man, I'm at the airport. I don't know what I'm here for. You know what I mean? They just randomly just be rhyming to you like while they talking. I learned a lot of little different things like that, man. But you mentioned Doom, and Doom is very important as far as Doom was someone that got put on to me by my homie Murdoch, man. And I ain't gonna lie, when I first heard Doom was way back then, man. When I first signed with Fresh Chest, I think he was on Stone Throws Records or something like that. I'm not
Okay.
too sure. And I didn't really like Doom. I didn't get it. I didn't get it at all because, like I said, man, like I'm trying to, when I made music back then, man, I was trying to make it so pristine. I didn't get a lot of things Doom was saying. Yeah, I didn't get the creativity portion of it. You know what I mean? And that's a dope thing about music, bro. Like you can always go back and revisit it.
Right.
And it was always the same back then as it is now. The only difference is you have changed as a person. Your tastes have changed. I've gotten more mature. So I don't want to hear back then he was spitting some things that it was just too much for me to figure out at the time. You see what I'm saying?
I get
But
what you're
now
saying.
that I'm old enough and able to comprehend it and I understand the art of it, and I'm just looking at it now and I'm realizing this man was a genius. You know what I'm saying? So rest in peace in one sentence and happy birthday, you know what I'm saying, to Dumoulin, man. Daniel
Yeah.
Dumoulin. You know what I'm saying? Because I listen to him all the time. He's on my playlist all the time, man. And this is not nothing recent. This is something that's been over 20 years now, bro. Like, I mean, Doom is like, he's got so much catalog and so much work, bro, that I'm just listening to every song, bro, and I'm just like, damn, dog, like, I feel like I never heard it before. You know what I mean? The new shit, the newest stuff, I've heard it, but if you go back and listen to some other shit, you know what I mean, like Operation Doomsday and then prior to that,
Mhm.
I mean, bro, talk about creativity, man. Food, creativity, man.
Amazing, right?
Amazing. And the production and just him using like different snippets and samples and just there was no format, dog. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think I heard a hook from him in one song. You know what I mean? I can't if it was a hook, there was nothing being said. It was just eight bars of beat playing. You know what I'm saying? So, and he's mentioned that too. You want to hide something from a nigga, put it in a hook or put it in a book. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. Basically, he's trying to say ain't no hook, so you ain't gonna find it.
Yeah, he definitely created his own lane. And the way you explained that, how you didn't like him at first, my younger sister used to always hear me play Doom, and she was like, "Why the hell are you playing him? I can't stand it." Now,
not only me, everybody around me, bro. They're like, and I used to think I was like this underground nerd and shit, like backpacking underground nerd. So I would listen to it, and I'll just be. I know my niggas wasn't feeling the shit, but I would try to act like I was. But at the time, I was like, I don't understand what the fuck I'm listening to. But and these niggas over here talking about, yo, turn that shit off, man. Yo, it's garbage, man. That underground rap shit you want, man. That shit's trash, man. I'm telling you, dog. That was the most beautiful time. Since, I mean, it really gave you a space, man, to just do what you felt like. There's no format.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because now my sister, that's what she listens to is Doom.
Exactly. So it's not Doom, it's us, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We change over time, and we realize that's why it's important to put the music out. Don't let the shit sit on your hard drive, because you might think it's trash, you might think it's that, and it might be trash, but somebody might like it, bro. Just put it out, man. And look, man, we not here forever, man. But look at Doom, man. He's not here right now, but we over here talking about him. And I'm pretty sure, you know what I mean, that, this will bring a smile to his face, because this is what we're here for, to leave a legacy, man. We're not here forever.
Right.
You know?
Yep. And being that you brought up reggae, I had to take some things out and see what your first thought was.
Super Cat. Wild Apache. That's the Wild Apache right there, man. The real bad man, that's enough. Super Cat is a real bad man. Probably still to this day. Ask anybody in Jamaica, that nigga's a real bad man. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Big shout out to
you. Got that though. That's dope that you got that, man.
Yeah. Come from a family.
I think he's in New York, I believe, right now. I think he still live up there, man.
Yeah.
He still live up there. He never went back to Jamaica, man.
Oh wow.
I mean, he went back, but he didn't go back to live. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what you're saying. Yeah.
And he got a brother named Junior Cat.
Yeah. I started DJing, through my uncle. That was my influence.
So, my uncle was a DJ. Uncle was a DJ, man. Sorry to cut you off. I mean, the same thing with me. I mean, that's how I learned a lot of the music, man, because when I came from Jamaica and I lived with my mom and I lived with him. So, I mean, I don't even know when this guy slept, because all I heard all day long was just music playing. You know what I'm saying? And it was vinyl, bro. It wasn't like no Serato shit. They didn't have that back then.
Right.
It was crazy music in 45s and 12 inches, and he was spinning and just, all you saw was his back, man. You know what I mean? All you saw was his back the whole time. So I really appreciated a lot of those moments, man, because I would hear a random song, and I'd be like, damn, I remember exactly where I was in the house when I first heard it.
Yeah. Those are great memories. Yeah. My uncle, he had a little hole in the wall room at my grandmother's house, and that's where it pretty much vinyl all across the wall, and then equipment sitting right there. And then there was a day where I was at my grandmother's house, none of the equipment was hooked up. I hooked everything up, I plugged it in, and he came home and he was about to scream on me, and then he looked and he saw, he was like, "You hooked all this up?" I was like, "Yeah." And he knew from there, and that's when he started teaching.
What's up? Nah, that's good, man. I mean, he brought some. It was pretty. Yo, let me tell you something, man. So he still DJ to this day, right? And you know how like the different sound effects that you hear, like the laser sounds and different vocal samples that you might hear from like in between records, when selectors are spinning reggae music and stuff like that. He brought this equipment to me the other few months ago. It was the SP303. I knew nothing about that equipment, man. And so he had like, I think 10 pads or 12 pads with like sound effects, and he wanted me to take them out and put some new stuff on there, new sound effects, right? Man, first of all, the Mad Villain album was produced on the SP303, right?
That's right.
By Madness. So I'm looking at this primitive equipment, bro, sitting in front of me. The plug and the adapter is like this big old thing. Looks like okay, good. The adapter looked like an NES adapter. Wait for my man to come back real quick.
No, you can keep talking.
Oh yeah, the adapter was like a NES adapter, bro. And the sound card, the memory card, it's called like a smart media card. I've never seen it before in my life. It looks like a small floppy disk, maybe 2 inches or something like that, bro.
Contacts on it.
Yes, bro. So I had to go on Amazon. I had to buy a smart media card reader. I had to look up, you know what I mean? The thing, bro, I think the max capacity of storage is like 2 megabytes or something like that. Yep. So I say all that to say this. I say 2 things. The fact that my uncle had this machinery, and I don't even think he knows how vintage this is and how probably in demand it is, because you can't get it for whatever he bought it for. And 2, the fact that Madlib was so genius enough to produce a whole album off of this kind of primitive equipment. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how he did it, bro. I really don't.
It's amazing.
I mean, I put like 4 vocal sounds in there that maybe was like 2 seconds long, and the thing started complaining about no memory or something like that. Oh, God, like, what a buzzkill, bro. Like, I can't make beats like that.
And at the time I was DJing, I'm glad you brought that up, because Madlib is the one that got me to buy a SP303. And here I am.
Oh, so you got one. Okay.
Yeah. Right now it's in storage, but the funny thing is,
I want the 404 now.
Okay. I'm over here cleaning up at my parents' house, and what do I find 2 days ago? The manual.
Look at that, the Dr. Sample doing, dog. That's crazy. Now I got to show you this. I mean, I got this. You know what I'm saying? I got the live, man. This shit is fire, right? I like it because it's portable. It's got speakers right here, and it's rechargeable. So for like 6 hours, bro, I could be making beats like wherever without it being plugged in to anything. I have to have headphones or none of that, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I can hear it. The speakers is great. So, I mean, that's dope. You got that, man. And I brought that up. So that's fire, man. So I don't know how y'all do use it. I would love to get into that, but I would rather get into something more modern, like a 404. But these little producer connoisseurs, man, they talk about stuff like compressors and the sound that you get out of the 303 and you know the other previous models, you can't replicate it. So I don't know. I don't hear it, but I believe it.
Yeah. And you know,
Same thing with the ASR. You know what I mean? They do stuff with the ASR, but my whole thing is, bro, like, I don't know if I got ADHD. I've never been diagnosed, but if something's taking me too long to do something, like, I just can't do it, bro. Like, if it's taking me like 30 minutes to just load samples, nah, man. Like, I already lost the vibe, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Now, before we talk about the new track produced by Knots, inspired by martial arts, dope track for anyone out there. Y'all definitely need to go check that out.
Bro. Yeah.
You actually reached out to Knots initially, and then he heard your music?
You talking about from the beginning?
Yeah.
So, the first time I started working with Knots, man, was with the Blood Cloud 1 album. I can't figure out what date it was, what year it was, man. It was after 2010, though. But I linked up with Knots because I was on Twitter one day, and I saw, now mind you, I don't know Knots from a can of paint, from Adam, I don't know. Obviously, I knew his beats. but I did not know this person tweeting produced those beats for Busta Rhymes and such, right? So I seen, and I was hungry for beats at the time, so it was just like the guy was like, artist, DM me and send me your records or something like that. And normally, this was back in Twitter. This is early Twitter, so it's not like Twitter now where you see that shit and you're like, man, that's some bullshit. They probably trying to just try to get your money or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I sent not a record from the Blood Clot album I was working on, which is my second album, and he loved it so much. He was like, I got a mixtape that I'm working on called Welcome Home. He was doing a series of mixtapes called Welcome Home, Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3. So Volume 1, he was like, send me the records that you got. He's collecting them from a lot of different people, and he's going to put a mixtape together. Without even telling me the mixtape comes out, I checked the mixtape. It's maybe like 11 records. Not really a mixtape to me. 11 records, all produced by Nas except one, which is mine. So it was kind of funny because Asher Roth was on there. Rapper Pooh was on there. He did an album with Rapper Pooh. He had different records with Asher Roth as well too. So that's around the time that, you know, those songs came out and they was on the mixtape. So I was shocked. I was like, all these people submitted records. And all of these records, it's weird to me. Like, everybody submitted records. You're thinking at least it's going to be an assortment of artists on there. And it was just really a lot of it was all Knox records produced by people who, you know, had beats with him, except mine. So when I came out, I was shocked. And I reached out to him and I was like, yo, man, we got to work. And he started sending me beats. Because I was already, I told him, he said, what you working on? I said, I'm working on a Blood Clot album. He started sending me beats. He sent me one beat that I used. So I got like 3 songs from Nas on Blood Clot. It was like No Love, one song with Bishop Lamont, and Clowning. Right, Clowning, right. I love that record, man. It's a simple beat, but it caught that sample caught my attention so much. And I can't remember the third song. It might just been 2. I can't even remember, dog. Anyways, man, that was the first really encounter with Knox. But when I started doing the records, I knew Knox, but I didn't know what his resume was. I was a big fan of Little Brother, so there was a record that Little Brother had off of I forgot what album it was, man. It wasn't The Listening. It wasn't Minstrel Show. It wasn't I think it was a Get Back, and it was like the first song on the album. It had Carlita Duran on there and Fonte, and all I remember was like the first few words in the intro of the song was "My nigga Knox on the beat," you know what I mean? And it was just like "I'm the life of the party." So that beat was fire, and I would always listen to that song. So I was like, that name Knox always rung in my head. So when I saw you post that on Twitter, I was like, okay, this is the same Knox. So I associated it, you know what I mean? So after we did the records with Blood Clot, my homie Murdoch, I sent him the records, and he was like, yo, who produced this? I said, it's Knox. He said, you talking about Knox that produced Busta Rhymes? I said, when he said that, I took like a little pause, like I left him on red. And I went and I typed in Knox like discography and I looked it up and I was like, holy shit. Oh, I'm tripping right now, bro. Like, how did I not know this? You know what I mean? So I was like, yeah, same dude, man. And he's like, yo, man, I've been trying to read whatever, man. You know, that's his story. But that's my story with Knox, bro. Like, I didn't know him from nothing, and then other than that song with Little Brother. But then going back and listening to, I'm a huge fan of Busta Rhymes. So listening to all that, and I'm like, I'm saying to my friends, like, yo, the dude that I did this song with, he produced this joint, man. Throw your hands up. You know what I mean? Extinction Level Event, the beats he had done on that. So it was just a real dope thing for me, man. Like, I just bucked up on him, man. Like, it wasn't like, yo, man, like we saw each other at a show and we gapped. You know, it was none of that shit, man. It was just organic. It was just working on music. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's amazing. Yeah, I had to look it up real quick because I remember Life of the Party because I have the one of the CDs from the Justice
Life of
League.
the party. Yep. There you
It,
go.
it was on a Little Brother project,
Yes,
and
sir.
Justice War, and it was also on one of the Justice League, like a compilation, which was
Oh,
Soldiers of Fortune.
got you. Okay. Yep. First words are my nigga Knots on the beat. So I always
Mm-hmm.
remember that, bro. My nigga Knots on the beat, Fonte. But hey, man, everybody got their story and shit. You know what I mean? As you live out your life, you start to realize, like, you know, people ask me this all the time, bro. Like just the other day, I was at the gun range with some people, man, and it was like they know me obviously, and they know I'm working on a new album with Knots, and they're like, "Yo, man, how you ever linked up with Knots, man?" So it's like a story that I'm telling over and over and over again, but it's not anything intriguing, bro. It's more like my bad on my part, because it's like, dog, like everybody knows who Knots is, but what happened to you? So I don't
Mm-hmm.
even know if that was played into it because I didn't come off like I was like a super fan or anything like that. I just came off like a genuine, down to earth person, like just want to work, you know. So there was no super sweating anybody, and you weren't sweating me, I wasn't sweating him. So it was just like, all right, well, I don't know what his feelings were as far as me and him like meeting up and stuff like that, but it was definitely just a down to earth type of deal. Like I wasn't really smart. I'm a musician, bro. Like if you got fire beats, which it's not just fire beats, it's beats that I think fit to my style.
Yeah.
I would try to find a way to work with you, man. You know what I'm saying? Whoever, whether or not you answer my responses, but I'm a real down to earth person. I'm not gonna be all up on you. You know what I mean? Like if you don't answer me, I ain't sending no message back. You know what I mean? I'm just down to earth, bro. Like I'm not gonna hound nobody. I'm not gonna act like you. First of all, I could have if I knew who he was, but I didn't. You know what I mean? So everything kind of worked out the way it did initially. I don't know if that would have made a difference or not. Because sometimes if you dope, you dope. You know what I'm saying? So
Speaks for itself. Yep.
yeah.
How did you meet with talented the Bad Seed? Because Bad Seed is one of those MCs that I've been listening to way back when the Making Records joints with Pumpkinhead was out, that I was going to Fat Beats and picking up on vinyl.
So again, man, I had a lot of catching up to do, bro. Like Bad Seed is another one, man. Like I seem to just find a way to connect with good individuals, man. And the people who aren't good individuals, I find a way to weed them out of my life, man. You know, so
Smart.
Bad Seed, yeah, most definitely. Bad Seed, man. I had released. So when me and Knox was working on the Trouble in the Paradise album, I released the first single, Spilled Milk, and Bad Seed hit me up again. Didn't know who Bad Seed was. That's my bad, not his bad, because he already had his work out there
Mm-hmm.
and was more accomplished than I was. But the thing is that he was down to earth and he was cool, man. Like he was like trying to work with me at the time. Then Bad Seed is like that. If you meet Bad Seed or speak with Bad Seed, real genuine dude, man. He ain't on no ego shit, dog. Like you know what I'm saying. If you got talent, like he'll fuck with you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like but there's a lot of people that's not like that, dog. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that you got talent, but I got more accolades than you, so I'm not gonna reach out to you. So he put all that aside. He reached out to me when I put out the single. He was like, "Yo, man, you gotta work," because him and Knox got an extensive catalog and different things like that of music that
Yep.
he's done, right? So he's already heir to the street. So he's like, "Who's this dude putting out an album with Knox?" So it's almost like I'm naive about it, dog. But had he approached me right now, it would have been about him like, "Yo, man, what's the problem, dog?" You know what I mean? But he was genuinely down to earth, man, and I peeped it. You know what I'm saying? I got a radar for that shit. So it was it was no jealousy and none of that shit. He really genuinely wanted to work with me, and he ended up doing another album with an album with Nas right after that. But we ended up connecting and just speaking all the time, man. And he's like a hip hop historian, so he's done taught me. He put me on a lot of shit, bro. Like stuff that I ain't gonna hold you. Like I said, I'm from Florida, so he put me on a lot of shit that I'm actually embarrassed to say, dog. Like you supposed to know that shit, right? So stuff like Main Source, Breaking Atoms. I heard about Main Source, but I never heard the Breaking Atoms album. That changed my life when I heard it. And he told me to listen to that shit. So, I mean, we just had, the other day, we spoke like yesterday. You know what I mean? And we're trying to do a Big and Wayne part two. Right? So we did, we linked up with Kels with the Heat. And, working with Bad Seed is like, and which is different from me because I like to, when I sit with my music and I serenade my music, I like to make love with my music. And you know what I mean? And take my time, bro. And he's more like, you know what I mean? So sometimes making music with other people, I make my best music and my best verses because I think it's just a rapper in me. You know what I'm saying? It's like you only got to do one verse. And it's not that I'm competing with you, but as long as we got a concept, me and you need to deliver this. And I'm not going to be the weakest link, and you're not going to be the weakest link. So we're working with Seed. It was like, got a beat got sent. Most of the time, he did the verse before I did the verse. But when he sent it to me, it was like, all right, boom, I got it done in like a day. The longest portion of that album was spent arguing over the mixes. It was not anything to do with verses. We was already happy to put the album out. The longest bickering back and forth had to do with the mixing and the quality of it. That's all on me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's me sitting there saying, "Yo, dog, like this don't sound right. That don't sound right. Your verse sounds funny. My verse got something going on funny with it. You know what I'm saying?" So that's before I even met Eddie Sancho. So I mean, that's why I like working with Steve, man, because he pushes you and makes you try to get shit done quick. And also just working with other people, man, like it brings out a competitiveness in you.
That's fine. Yeah. His work ethic, man, it shows, man. And I love that at certain times that he goes on live while he's working in the studio and you see him being meticulous with his work. He wants it to come out the best.
And he tells me this all the time, bro. Like he's like, you need to get on Facebook, you need to do this, you need to do that. And honestly, man, like everybody's different, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like he's got the personality for that. I'm not going to fake it until I make it. The last time I went on live was like 2 weeks ago, and it was just to let people know I'm working on an album with Naps and Inspired by Martial Arts is coming out. That's my downfall with social media. Not downfall, but that's my weakness in social media, which is it sucks because everything is social media now. So I got to learn how to create content. I got to learn how to get on live when I'm just driving in the car or when I'm in the studio, different things like that. But to me, how I'm used to my whole behavior and my whole work ethic of working on music is I'm like in a dungeon when I'm doing shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I could count probably 2 people, my wife and maybe, I don't know, somebody close that has heard any new shit that I'm working on. You know what I mean? Like I don't really send stuff out. I don't really get on live and play shit. It's no knock on anybody else because it works for them. But for me, I just think it has nothing to do with really what works. I just think it's like the music is so personal to me that it's like when I'm done with it, then I go on live. Then you see me on interviews like this, and you know something's coming when you see me on an interview right here with me and you. You know what I'm saying? Like, but before that means that the album is done, by the way. You know what I'm saying? The new album is already done, by the way. So that's how you know I'm doing interviews, I'm doing my runs and trying to set up here and little shows here and there and stuff like that. But prior to that, it's like because I feel like back then, bro, growing up, like I wasn't able to see Nas in the studio working on albums. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't.
Yeah.
Nas didn't go on live. Biggie didn't go on live. And again, I'm not saying that this is a knock on anybody because I'll be on their live watching. It's just a personality thing for me. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, everyone works differently.
Everybody's different, dog. And I really feel like this is a different era that people really want to see all of that stuff. I'm just not. I'm just more focused on making the music, and I'm not really too like enthusiastic about just getting on there and just doing and just, hey, this is what I'm working on. You know what I mean? Like I'll let y'all know that shit after it's done.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my nigga C. So I be on it. I be on his live and he got so much work, bro. Like much respect to him, dog. Like he's very entertaining, man. And I be on that shit. I be on it. I be on. He be trying to get me on Facebook, man. He be trying to get me on Facebook, this and that. I just joined Threads the other day. I only got Instagram and Twitter, and I joined Threads, and I'm like, what the fuck is this, man? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm like an 80-year-old man trying to use social media, dog. Like I'm behind the 8 ball already. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm late to the party.
Yeah, I understand. You know, I say it all the time. You don't have to consistently keep putting everything on all of these. It's just that, you know, just make a little post here and there of, you know, what you're doing, what you're working on. You know, that's about it. Like you were saying, everybody doesn't have to be on their live when they're in the studio or they're collaborating with somebody. Just as long as you know, put that little word out there. Just keep it relevant.
And here's my thing, right, with that. Everything's about content. So what I've learned throughout the years is that if I come across a little bit of content, I gotta make sure whatever I post or what I do is driving the viewer to something else. Right? So if I post a picture of something, my album cover or something like that, I need you to go over here and appreciate that. I need you to go over here and buy this single or buy this vinyl or buy this and that. You know what I mean? I don't really have content like that to just be check out this shit and then nothing happens. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it's just some views. You know what I mean? Like I don't have it like that, bro. So everything that I use is all rationalized and used strategically in a way. You know what I'm saying? So I got a lot of things lined up, bro. And most of the time when people see me post shit, it's either I'm not posting anything or I'm actively posting some things. You know what I mean? And then when people see that, they're like, damn, you working hard. But at the end of the day, I'm working hard, but it's a strategic plan. I got the album cover already done like 4 months ago. Nobody's seen it already. You know what I'm saying? I could have posted 4 months ago, but I'm waiting. I'm waiting strategically. You know what I'm saying? Everything happens in a sequence. So, you know, so that's how I try to work, man. But you know, it works different for other people. Some people don't really care. You put the album cover out, niggas still gonna support the shit 4 months later. So it's no biggie. But you know, everybody's different, man. I'm not privy to certain things like that. I'm not real savvy with all of the editing and stuff like that. I'm trying to learn it still. You know what I mean? I know how to edit music videos, but when it comes to the phone and social media and all that, I don't know if it's just I don't have the passion for it or what, man. Wish I had a team, but to do all of that, man. But you know, everybody knows how to do it themselves.
Yeah. And one of the things that I appreciate is your drive, you know, to continue pushing on with the music. And initially, you got your first computer, and you know you did everything yourself to listen to how you sound, because you are your best critic, and you can't lie to you.
To this day, bro, I'll tell you right now when something don't sound right with me. But the good thing, like I said, I can get right back in there, man, and fix it. You know what I mean? I don't gotta hit somebody up and be like, yo, dog, I know I said the album was done, but there's this one ad lib I want to throw in there. You know? That's how critical I am, bro. Like I be listening to my records and I'm like, I be listening to it and then like I hear like a gap or something that there should be like a word there, and I don't hear a word. I'm like, all right, boom, I gotta go in here and add that one word. You know what I mean? Or I gotta fix this one word because it didn't sound right how it came out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Look at Lil Wayne, dog. I mean, Lil Wayne is way more OCD than I am. But you could tell when you listen to his music and when he raps, bro, like there's no flaws.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's no flaws. You know what I mean? So it's not that I'm trying to, it's a give and take. I'm not trying to be flawless because music has to have some kind of naturalness to it, and natural is not perfect. You know, so there's certain things that I'll keep in there, man, but other times there's things that I know it has to be there, and it's not there, and I got to go back in there and do that.
Gotcha. Speaking of continuous inspiration, this man, I don't really know where to start, but he has done so much for hip hop, and I always say he created his own documentary and book. But I'm talking about DJ Eclipse, and he's been an integral part of you as well.
Bro, can you hold it one more time, dog? Last time, real quick.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, man. DJ Eclipse, between radio shows, breaking records, nonfiction, his own crew, and actually being genuine for the culture. I've seen him at plenty of shows in the crowd, just vibing, taking pictures, enjoying everything, not trying to be backstage and all that stuff, but just be in the crowd. And I've seen him throughout different decades doing the same thing. So I always salute him when I see his name out there. And shout out Rappers Out of Control with DJ Riz, because they continue to push music the way they did when I was younger, listening to the halftime show and recording on my cassettes. So always shout him out.
So man, this is one of those things where you kind of look back on your career and what you've done in music, man, and you start to realize who the key players were, right? And so there's a few players, man, like Sharif is one of them, right? Sharif, my publicist, that's how we connected, right? Sharif, he is a student of the game and loves music so much. I don't know how he has a connection with DJ Eclipse, but he ended up sending me. This is before me and him was even working. Like he was, I think he was really, he had his ear to the streets when it came to Fresh Chef's records, right? So he knew me from then. So when Blood Clot 1 came out, he sent DJ Eclipse Blood Clot 1. And so I look on Twitter and I see DJ Eclipse say, "How comes I never heard about this guy before? I feel like shit." And I think that's what he posted. And he put Blood Clot or something like that, NapsNdreds. So again, I didn't know who DJ Eclipse was. Looked him up, realized who he was, realized he was working in Sirius XM, and he asked me to send him some records, right? Next thing you know, like I'm in the car vibing out, like to on Sirius XM for the first time, Shade 45. No, it was hip hop. It wasn't Shade 45 before that. Hip Hop Nation. It was on Hip Hop Nation.
Okay.
Along with DJ Eclipse. I'm sorry, DJ Premier. So not only did DJ Eclipse started playing my records, but DJ Premier started playing my records too as well. Because of that. Because of Sharif passing on that. You know what I'm saying? And so because
that's amazing.
DJ Eclipse is so instrumental to my career, bro, because I don't know if he's a fan. He's got to speak for that himself, but I just know he knows music, right? Because sometimes I send him shit and he's like, this joint's too slow or something that, you know what I'm saying? It might not fit in the set.
Mm-hmm.
He came down to Florida one time. His brother lives down here. We all sat down at an Italian restaurant. We ate pasta like some mobsters. And we talked about music, wrapped it up. And it was just, with me, bro, like, I'm not from up north, bro, where most everybody is. So anytime people come down here, I always link with them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Guys like Eddie Sancho, Thurston Howe, you know, countless number of people who come down. Just Lord Jazz from Lords of the Underground. He's
Dope.
in West Palm right now. He lives down here, but we linked. You know what I'm saying? And we linked. We got out to meet with Static Selector, DJ Premier, Mayhem Loren.
Mm-hmm.
All of these people from down here that comes down here, bro. Like I gotta meet them if I can. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that's all you really need, bro. Like I mean, countless athletes I met, bro, down here from Miami, bro, Miami Dolphins and shit like that, dog. And they following me on Instagram or Twitter or something like that. And really, people think that it's all about just sending messages on Instagram or Twitter. Nah, you gotta engage with people and let these people know you're a real human. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I was glad to meet with DJ Eclipse, man, and have dinner with him and his family. And because it really kind of solidified our relationship, and it's a little bit different, man, than just communicating with somebody on an email. You know, so I know DJ Eclipse is on my side and DJ Riz. You know what I mean? And I'm on their side too as well. Whatever they need, they're gonna get it. They want drops. They want me to come up there, whatever it may be. You know what I mean? I'm there.
Dope.
I haven't been up there yet, and I need to. But again, man, I'm coming up with all these different excuses. I wish I was where you at, man. You know what I mean? Like, if some niggas is like right down the street from Shea 45, man. Like, I would have been there, man. But it's just a lot of different technicalities, man. I got to take off from work and do different shit like that. And no excuse, man. But it's just, you know, if you want to make it happen, you make it happen. But it's going to happen.
Yeah. Mm. Guest features. You just blazed that track on Napoleon the Legend and Jay Cyanide Goat vs. Sheep.
I'm glad you brought that up, man. That's the most recent shit. Yep.
Man.
Jay Cyanide is my boy, man, and me and Napoleon got records too. I think we got 1 or 2 records, man. We've done on my album, man, and it was an honor to be on that record because I really love that album, man. That shit sound like some Mad Lib shit, and I love it. Mm-hmm. And I told him that too. It sound like some Mad Lib shit mixed with some damn dog, like I can't even call it right now, bro. But I love that record, man, and I love that record, and I love the album that they did, man. And me and Jay Cyanide got an album coming out too that we're working on too as well. So another one that's down the pipe that's coming as well too. So you know, trying to stay busy, man. But the thing is with me, bro, like it's really hard for me to work on multiple things at once. Like I'm so intimate with my music that once this Knox record is done, the Jay Cyanide one is something that we're gonna work on. But bro, like I got producers hitting me up saying, yo, what happened to that beat that I sent you? You gonna still record on that and this and that? And I'm just like, man, like I don't even know when I'm gonna use that. But you know, if you want to send it off to somebody else, go ahead, man, because I don't want to hold nobody's you know, art hostage. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's taking me a while to get the stuff, man. So I'm just trying to say, like, I got a lot of stuff on my plate, bro, but I'm trying to keep it one plate at a time. I ain't trying to. It's not a buffet for me. Normally, when I go to a buffet, I feel like I'm gonna eat everything in the house. I probably eat 2 plates and that's it, and waste my money. You know what I mean? So I like to work on one thing at a time, bro, and then move on to the next.
I get you on that. Yep.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, Jay Cyanide and NapsNdreds. It's definitely, we already got 1 record already done. And it's gonna be like an EP, so it's gonna be short, so it ain't gonna take me that long to finish it. So it'll definitely be sometime out. It'll be out this year. Most likely after the Knox album.
Still dope.
And I know that's gonna be crazy because I already got the record. I already got the record for it, man. He sent me this 1 record, man. So I was listening to the beat, man, and I'm listening to it. I'm vibing to it. And like 2 minutes and 20 seconds in, the beat skips. Like the shit like skips. Like it's like something like mutes or something goes off beat, and I'm just like, I hit him up. I was like, yo, dude, something's wrong with this beat. I like 2 minutes and 20 seconds, and he's like, oh, that's intentional. And he sent me like a screenshot of like what he actually did. And I'm like, you're a fucking genius, man. And you know what I'm gonna do? When that part comes around, people gonna hear that shit, and I'm gonna say some shit right around that point right there. That's gonna fuck their heads up, and they're gonna be like, "What the hell just happened right here?" So I'm gonna go with what you doing. You know what I'm saying? So it's just art, man, and I love it, man. I just that's why I like, this album with Jay Sinai is gonna be different than anything I ever did because I already know like he's more on a Mad Lib kind of vibe, man, and I want to do something more refreshing. You know what I'm saying? Something different that I haven't done before. So it's gonna be fun. I'll tell you that. And I'm in for it.
Dope. Now, before Inspired by Martial Arts track came out, you've been continuously dropping some singles this year. You had Hired Guns with the French.
Yeah, Kenneth. Right.
The Quick Route with Wordsworth. That's produced by 88 Plus Beats. Shout him out. He's another dope producer. And then you came out with Shoot the Messenger with another dope MC, Supreme Cerebral. And then might just, follow up after that with another dope MC producer. I mean, this is the consistency that we've been talking about. I mean, you don't have to lay it out there, but the music speaks for itself. And having those 5 tracks right there, 4 tracks, including Inspired by Martial Arts being the 5th track. I mean, everyone's gonna keep looking for what you got.
The thing about that is that all of them records that you mentioned were supposed to be on the album, and I got to a point where I was like, should I work on this album or should I work on a Knots album? And it was more like it just felt like I just had more traction going with the Knots album, man. And so there was a lot of records that I was working on that I was like, man, I can't work on 2 albums at the same time, man. So what am I going to do here? Am I going to do 2 albums with, everybody's saying just put out singles and all that, just to keep people, you know what I'm saying, in the loop. So like, let me try this out. I got like 8 or some records, you know what I'm saying, for an album that I could put out right now. But I'm going to take some of them and I'm going to put each one out as a single, like every 2 weeks. And that's what I did. And I was my main reasoning behind that was just trying to keep people engaged with my art, man, as I work on this Knots album. Because I could have just fell back for like a good 2 months with nothing. But I said, you know what? I'm not gonna let these records just sit. I'm gonna put them out. You know what I'm saying? The Akhenaton joint, me and him, Nicholas Craven, him and Nicholas Craven had did a record. Shout out to Ransom because Nicholas Craven got a whole album with him. There it is right there. That's it, part 1. I'm on that. So that's where the relation, and me and Nicholas Craven gonna work on some shit too. But that's where it all started at, right? So me and Kenaton worked, and actually it was Napoleon the Legend who asked me to be on that record. Because that's Napoleon the Legend in his record, right? So I was on that joint, man, and that's how I got to know, Nicholas Craven and Kenaton. And so obviously, he was all like, yo, man, whatever you need. Because I work with him too as well. So it was like one hand wash the other. So he did the single for me, and then I can't remember what the next single was. I know we had Mike Just and the joint with the Supreme Cerebral and all that. But these are these records that I had, man, and I just wanted to put out in a sequence. And I still got maybe 1 or 2 more. There's another record that I'm putting out called Vibe Supplier within the next 2 weeks. We just shot a video for it last week. It's off of the Knots album that I'm doing. So that's coming out within the next 2 weeks. It's going to come out as a single first, and then maybe a few days after that, the video will come out. The video is fucking crazy. Yeah. I'm the vibe supplier, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm that dude, like, yo, bro, like, I don't got no drugs for you or none of that shit, bro. But when I come to the party, I come in the building, everything levels off. Like, all right, now we can have some fun, or now we can vibe, or now we can chill, or whatever y'all on, I'm on, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I'm here to supply that. So that's what the whole concept of that record is, vibe supply. So that's gonna come out next, man. But there's a lot of other little different singles that I'm trying to put out, but I ain't trying to confuse it with the Naps album right now. So everything is right now gonna be Naps related until the album comes out.
I'm gonna play a brief portion of one of my favorite songs, which you also dropped a music video for, and that is "See the Light" featuring Rex.
Oh, that was a fun. Rex is my guy too. Rex used to live down here. That's another dude I'm telling you about. Like, when Rex is from Boston, so
yeah,
Rex lived down here for a good number of time, and we linked up. You know what I'm saying? And really developed a really cool relationship. He's a real cool dude, man, and he's recorded many records in this studio right here, man, for himself and for me and him. I mean, we did a record with me, him, and Sky Zoo right here. You know what I mean? So it's we got a good relationship, man. And he's already talking about trying to do an album too. So again, man, I'm stretching my arms out wide, man, and I don't know where I'm gonna get this energy from, but everything's up in the air, man.
That energy's gonna stay there because I mean the quality of MCs and producers you work with, that right there is gonna keep you going.
And my man who filmed this right here has been my video man from day one. Whole song is video, dog. He was amongst so much people.
Yeah, what you saw, I saw it too, man. Yo, Rex, what up, man? Yo, Divine, what up, man? Nah, it's real though. Divine on the drums, y'all. It was real. Yeah, he the drummer.
Divine drummer to beat too. Divine drummer.
Check it. It's Dreds, what the deal is. Yeah, we building it here with Rex in the building. What up? Exit until then. Foundation then the ceiling. Natural progression like rest through for healing. Stress be killing. So I don't worry about none of these feelings. He said, she said. Tell them don't come to me with it. Don't know. I ain't got nothing further. They scream bloody murder. Big old nothing burger. Nothing. Money earner. Hustle 3 times harder to turn up. What I bring to the table always a part of the merger. Niggas who talk fast, listen, they try to finesse you. Talking about, I got you, dog. Now they forgetful. You susceptible to us. I respect you, sus, intelligent thug. It's hard to find respectable plugs. When on the grind, we levels above. Fellas, it's love. When you see them, tell them what's up.
To the light, A, B, C, a light. See the light, whole world like the stage. Play the role, actors in the game, out of control. Stay true to the light, A, B, C, a light. See the light, whole world like the stage. Play the role, actors in the game, out of control.
One of my favorite videos, man. So fun, bro. You're muted. You're on mute, bro.
Shout out Divine Drummer on that joint right there.
Yeah, we got records too, man. You just sent me some new shit the other day, man. Crazy. Vaughn is a talented individual, man.
I gotta say, there's not too many people that make the right decisions to have genuine people in their lives, whether it just be in life or in music, like with you, NapsNdreds. But much respect on that because a lot of people don't make those good decisions, and your catalog shows the people that you continuously work with are genuine. And this work that is being created is organic.
Yeah, thank God for that, man. I'm able to be around people that I don't have to really think too hard about whether or not they solid or not, man. There's obviously a few people that have been around. I just like, yeah, nah, I can't really mess with them no more. But and it's a quick decision. But most of the time, man, like it's just organically, like we connect, man. And if it ain't, if the vibes ain't there, then just the universe just doesn't make it happen, man. So things like with Rex, man, like Rex been down here, we linked up. We did one or two records, and then he wanted to record some features in the album, and then we got Sky Zoo in here, and just a lot of different things happened that I didn't even know could have happened because he's cool with Sky Zoo. Sky Zoo came down and did a show with him. You know what I'm saying? So that record that record is actually produced by Knox, and it's off the Don't Make Me Famous album. That was is that my most recent album? Or was it Supergraph? I can't think. No, okay,
That's
it was Supergraph is my most recent. Yeah. So so Don't Make Me Famous came out in 2021, I believe. And then Supergraph came out in 2022, and then the new one is coming out this year. So, yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. Appreciate you, man.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. Man. Well, I definitely looking forward to the projects that you mentioned during this interview. So now for this portion, I got some surprises. Not, I want you to, if you have a story or just, the first thing that comes to mind when I show these. All right.
All right. Cool.
Outkast, Southern Playlistical Cadillac Music.
Ooh, Southern Playlistic, Donkey Music. Yo, Outkast, man, has been like, obviously Andre, Big Boy slept on, man, but that album in particular, I didn't vibe to it 100%. Like I know the singles off of there, but obviously Aquemini. I think Aquemini was after that, right?
Yeah.
Was it Aquemini? Yeah, man. That was me and you. I was in middle school when that came out, so Yo Mama and Yoka, and that's when I started really paying attention to rap and trying to rap. So Aquemini was like was a shit for me, man, and I'm a huge Outkast fan. And knowing that they from the South and everything, I'm all about because I'm from the South, bro. And a lot of people really degraded the South around that time, man. Try to say we were slow, that we couldn't rap, and different things like that. And obviously, man, we competed with New York, the Mecca of hip hop and stuff like that. So we all trying to compete, not even compete, but trying to just contribute to the same art as them people that was making music up north, man. But they try to degrade us, man, and try to say we were slow. And then these dudes came out, man, as a group, one of the greatest hip hop groups ever, man, and flip wigs, man. And so definitely, dog, Southern Playlistic, man, is a classic album, dog. Classic.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, no, I was listening. It was ATL was the second album, and then it was Aquemini.
Oh, yeah. So me. Okay. So yeah. I got it right. Sorry, I said me and you, your mom. Yeah. So Elevators. I got freestyles and battle raps off of Elevators. The beat, man. That beat, crazy. Yeah. Definitely, man. ATLiens, man, was when that came out in early '90s or mid '90s. I was in middle school at the time. Around the time I was telling you about, I was in the middle school band and in the back just vibing. I remember somebody coming up to me saying, just saying, me and you, your mama and your cousin too. What the fuck is that, man? Then the video came out and it was just amazing.
Yep.
Great time, man. Great time to be a fan of hip hop, man. And
absolutely,
everything was so refreshing, man. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I got next one. Murder, She Wrote, Shaka Demus and Pliers.
Classic, man. Super classic, dog. I mean, that record will be forever classic forever, from trillions and billions of years from now. I love it, man. That record is, everybody knows that record, dog. You put your face on bad character. No, wait. No. No. Murder She Wrote. Murder She Wrote. Yeah. Yeah, nah, that record is fire, man. I love that record, man. Oh, that is. Wait, hold on. Shabba Ranks is on that record, right?
Not on that one, no.
Murder She Wrote. Classic record, nonetheless, man.
Let me see what else. Okay.
Get out of here. Yo. You wanna know what's funny about this record, man? It's not my favorite Nas record, man. My favorite Nas record is It Was Written.
Okay.
But
nothing wrong with
I
that.
heard it was. Listen, I'm from Florida, so when Illmatic came out, I never heard it.
Okay.
What I heard from Nas coming out was It Was Written with the Lauryn Hill joint and everything. Because remember, I'm from Florida, though, so I'm hearing the singles first, and then I'm going back, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Illmatic, matter of fact, I even pieced Illmatic after I heard it was written, and then it was I Am. Was it I Am after that?
Yeah.
I Am, and then I heard Illmatic. I had to go back to Illmatic, but Illmatic, it was written to me, Stillmatic, and then Illmatic. I think it's probably my 1, 2, and 3 Nas records, man. Illmatic is definitely. I got that record too. I got that record here. Definitely a classic, well put together album, man. Sonically, sequence wise, rhyme wise, you could tell Nas was hungry. So Illmatic is definitely a classic, man. But just because I heard it was written prior to that or before that, I would put It Was Written before that. It just got a more sentimental place in my heart.
All right, next one. This is a 12-inch of MF Grimm, but the B-side is My Love with MF Doom. And that track can be heard on Special Herbs Volume 2.
So I'm not gonna lie to you and sit up here and act like I know what that record is because I never heard that record. I gotta check that record out, man. You hit me over the head with that.
Yeah,
I know who
I'll
MF
see you
Grimm is.
for that one.
I know who MF Grimm is. I don't know the record that you just showed me right there, but I'm gonna have to check it out. I know you said Special Foods.
Say that again.
You said Special Foods. That's what it's called.
Oh no! Oh, it's Special Herb Volume 2.
Special Herbs. Yeah, I seen that record, man, in the vinyl store, man. That shit was like $50 or something like that. I was like, nah, man. But I gotta check that out, man. You hit me over the head with something that I never heard yet. MF Grimm is definitely dope, man, but I never heard that one, bro. So I'm gonna have to go back and do my homework on that.
Okay.
Story of my life.
Let me see. All right, I'm gonna do one more.
Come on now.
Mad Lion.
Mad Lion. Which one is that? Yo, I don't know about that one though, kid. I know Mad Lion, but what song is that? That's a single or that's an album?
No, this is the album, Real Thing.
Wasn't a fan of Mad Lion coming up, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. Wasn't a fan of Mad Lion, bro. Wasn't a fan, but I'm gonna have to check that one out too, dog. You know what it is? I know what you're doing. These are records that New York really was picked up to, because I remember Super Cat is one of them. Mm-hmm. Mad Lion is one of them. You had a guy named Nitty Gritty from back then who Super Cat actually killed in self-defense. Then you have accept people like Bounty Killer and Beanie Man and stuff like that, but Mad Lion is one of them guys that New York also took, and I'm pretty sure that was probably a Brooklyn connection or something like that back then, man. You know what I mean? So, but as far as dancehall in general, like I wasn't really a huge Mad Lion fan.
Okay.
I don't know too much of his music to even really to say whether I like it or not. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Now, aside from dancehall, did you listen to soca and calypso?
So when you go to Jamaican parties, yeah, they do play a lot of different calypso and soca records, man, because the women like to dance to that, man. So you had some soca records like whiny whiny, nani
Yeah,
boom
yeah.
boom, left, right left, 10 step, dollar,
Yep.
cent, 5 cent, 10 cent, dollar, cent, 5 cent, 10 cent, dollar, cent, five, yo. So I
Yeah,
remember
that's
all them
classic.
little classic records, man. So, but I'm not too much into soca too much, man. It's too uppity for me. Like I'm more like a more vibed out kind of guy, but I know those records though. You know what I mean? And most Jamaican parties, they do eventually mix in some of them records, man, because the people want to hear
Dope, dope.
it.
All right, man.
I remember doing the little dance moves too, dog. Like, you know what I mean? So soca is fun. It's definitely fun.
Hmm. Dope, man. Um, Naps and Dreads, man. Two projects coming out currently, and he definitely put us on to a lot more of what's about to be
Yes,
in
sir.
2003. Um, I love the portion of you talking about the DJ, the selector, early in the beginning.
Hmm.
Definitely
Yes,
because
sir.
hip hop would not be here without it. You know, I don't care what anybody says. That's where the MC started at with the DJ.
Most definitely, man. Yeah, that's where hip hop. That's where hip hop all started, man. Like, I mean, it's arguable. I don't know if it's arguable. If it's something to argue with, man. But I mean, I had an interview recently too, man, and dude was like, "Yo, hip hop was origin. Jamaica brought hip hop to New York with Cool Herc." You know what I'm saying? So, and I agree with that. And I got a song produced by Dirty Diggs called "Homage," where
Mm-hmm.
I'm speaking on all of and that's off of Blood Clot 2. It's the second album. It's the second record off Blood Clot 2 called Homage, produced by Dirty Diggs. And I'm talking about the origin of hip hop and how it got here, right? And then I'm also mentioning guys like Heavy D, who has to get his flowers, man. Pete Rock, Biggie Smalls. Like, I'm just mentioning a lot of people, bro, that influential to hip hop that got Jamaican heritage or came
Yeah.
from Jamaica, was born and raised like myself. You know what I mean? So, yo, man, I mean, it's just up top from here, man. We're just trying to continually keep pressing on and keep making good music, man, and keep trying to just push the limit, man. That's why I'm trying to work with different producers and stuff. You know what I mean? I work with Knox because Knox is in my pocket, but
Mm-hmm.
then I want to be able to get in my some uncomfortable spaces. You know what I mean? And make something. Uncomfortable spaces make sometimes the most creative work, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Mm. I appreciate you taking the time to speak with us. You know, continue support. You know, your music is dope all the time, and speaking with you today, you know, you are.
I appreciate that too, man. HHDG Media. I appreciate y'all, man. Ricky, man, thank you for interviewing me. This is great, man. I needed it.
Man.
And like I said, I needed it because, I'm trying to ramp up this thing because the album's coming out soon. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to make my rounds, and I appreciate you taking the time out, man. We spoke for a while, and it was a great conversation. So I learned a lot, and I'm going to take something back, and I'm going to listen to that Mad Lion. And what's the other record?
Oh, the
MF
MF
Drum.
joint. Yeah, I'll send
Send me
you
them,
links.
send me them joints so I can add it to my data bank, man. And
Mm-hmm.
I know everybody else probably watching like, how you don't know about them records, man? But hey, I'm me, man. I mean, I ain't heard everything,
Yeah,
So, and I'm humble enough to say that. So, and I'm real enough to say that. So, I thank you, man. I really thank you for your time, man. I appreciate it, man.
absolutely. Like I always say to people, it's better late than never. So I don't even say how could you not, not,
Hey, music, dog. You don't have to hear it now, dog. Music lasts forever, so we can go back. If we listen to '80s music, I can go back and listen to the MF Grimm joint. I can, you know what I'm saying? So we still listen to the shit from the '60s and sampling shit from 1950s. You know what I'm saying? So come on, man. Yeah, I don't claim to know everything, dog. You know what I mean? So, but I appreciate it, man.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Any other shout out you want to give me before we go? Let people know where they can support your music as well.
Yeah, I'm really on Instagram and Twitter, right? So it's at NapsNdreds, NapsNdreds. That's for both Instagram and Twitter. I got an album coming out with Knox within another month or so. I don't want to release the title yet because it's not a whole production, but like I said, I want to do things strategic. You just know that should be announced. Got a new single coming out within another 2 weeks, plus a video called Vibe Supplier, produced by Knox. So it's getting close. It's getting close, y'all. So I'm really excited about this album, man. It doesn't have that many features on it, and it's all it's just authentic Naps, man. And I'm proud of it, man. I love it, man. Anytime I get to work with Naps, the beats are crazy, different. I can't even call it, man. Like once it's out in the air and to the public, y'all decide what y'all think of it, man. But as of right now, I love it, man. My favorite album.
Oh man, definitely looking forward to it.
Much respect, bro.
On behalf of
you hold that house down over there, man.
What's that,
brother?
What'd you say?
Hold that house down over there, man. I know you told me you had some things you was doing over there, man. So hold it down.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Respect, bro.
Definitely. Thank you. On behalf of HHDG Media, we're going to say peace.
Thank y'all, man. Much love.